as well. You can choose between a German commentary position and English. So that's really great. Oh, we get David over here. So let's have a quick walk and talk to one of the officials from Goodyear. Thank you very much for this spontaneous interview. I will have a long arm and we try to keep the distance, but thank you, you've got the mask on. Yes, the tires are always so important, but you saw the first trucks at the pole, and what do you think about this year's conditions here at the Hungaroring?
No, I think the conditions are good. I mean, we had good weather, but it's always a bit tricky. Like yesterday, we had some shower, so it's and you don't know. I mean, there's some clouds. I mean, someone might be fearing for rain, but whatever's going to happen, we'll be ready. You know, the tires are designed to be used both on dry and wet, so the teams also are used to use them. So I think we are comfortable with that, and we are really looking forward to start the race. I mean, as everybody here.
Yeah, we're too. And as you see, it's a bit cloudy and the weather prognosis, it's changing minute by minute. Yes. Right now you see the sun coming out. But the Hungaroring normally is really, really hot. In hot temperature, how do the tires work?
Yeah, of course, wearing can be a bit faster, but also the tires are designed to cope with the conditions. So, you know, we had many years of experience with truck racing, and tires are designed to cope with this condition. So cold or hot, I mean, we are ready. Tires will be ready. We cope with the condition, and yeah, ready to go.
That's really great. Due to pandemic, the last year's season was shortened, unfortunately. What effect did it have on you, on Goodyear?
Yeah, of course, it was more a disappointment as for everybody. You know, we are in track racing since many years. We really see the value for us being here, and we really wanted to have a very good season. Of course, it was a bit disappointing just to do 2 races. So yeah, we just waited, but you know, it was a very special year, a very strange year for everybody. So I think we just took the condition, and that was it. You know, and definitely we are more confident this year that things will get better and better. So we're really, really confident.
What did you do in the meantime? Because everyone is saying that, yes, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've got a lot of time to work, but it's not as that. You need to organize more. But did you have a new focus or maybe new inventions going on? How did you use that time in between?
Yeah, you know, in the meantime for us, of course, we continue working on the development of the product for the trucks on the road. So this is an activity which is never stopping from us. So, you know, it's that's our job, that's our life. So, of course, I mean, we were busy with other things. So, and so also this year will be an important year for us with new products and so on. So that where we spent our time last year.
Good to be back. Thank you very much. So, as I said, our commentators are ready in their racing seats, I suggest. And suppose it's now Norbert Kiesch starting, getting his truck ready. So, dear Chas, dear Eberhard, it's your turn right now.
Thank you very much, Christina, and wonderful to speak to Davide there from Goodyear. Of course, as mentioned earlier, the Goodyear tyres, as we see there on all of these trucks, working very, very hard indeed. And changeable conditions are very interesting on a circuit like this because there's so many corners here where as soon as the tyres start to wear down, you are really going to feel it, especially the downhill corners, turns 1 and 2. The little kink to the left at turn 4 as well is very important for lining the truck up for turn 5. The tyres are going to be so much of a focal point over this because while the races aren't the longest races you'll ever see, they are going to be very intense when it comes to tyre wear. We're on board now with Teo Calve in the Freightliner, making his way out onto the circuit, and I am so excited to get this very first race of the championship underway. As mentioned, I am Chas Draycott, here for the majority of the season at least. 7 race meetings taking place this year, and the very first of them at one of my very, very favourite circuits at the Hungaroring. In the middle of July, we go to the Nürburgring. We also have rounds 2 and 3, effectively, at the Nürburgring. We've got 6 races, I think it is, over the whole weekend there. Then we go to Most in the Czech Republic, over to Zolder in September, with Le Mans Bugatti circuit towards the latter end of September. And then through October, we round out the season with a visit to Jarama in Spain and then Misano in Italy. Now, I was actually in Misano last week for a different series, and let me tell you, to see smaller tin-top open-wheel cars and multiple other things going around that circuit. The idea of trucks racing around there absolutely blows my mind, because these things, while they are bigger, they are just as fast. They are absolutely incredible to watch. So I really hope that that will be as good a spectacle as it promises to be. Now, this is one of the different things that you have to witness with a paddock filled with trucks, is a lot of the 3-point turns that you get, with the likes of Jochen Hahn there just making his way out. Lovely looking bit of kit, isn't it, as he makes his way out. The number 1, of course, being worn very, very proudly. And it's actually back to Christina with another interview.
Because we saw Jochen Hahn driving by, and we've got his wife, Diana Hahn, standing right behind me, and she's also a team manager and always in a good contact, of course, with the driver, for sure. How is the feeling ahead of the race? We got a little bit of delay. Does that in any way disturb the preparation?
No. We are in a good move. We are now at a 3rd position, and we hope we can go a little bit forward.
Ranked right now after the Super Pole on 3rd positions. Is that a good way to start, or did you hope to get a little bit more?
We hope. We know that nobody's here very fast. We know it from the last years. But when we are on the podium, we are very happy.
So the qualifying was really important, but more important is for sure the race, the first, this season, after a long-term preparation. How glad are you that you're back on track?
We are very glad, because we are in fever that we can come here to the first race, and we missed the races last year, and now we are here, and we hope we have a good first race.
What we can say is that it's this big family here, so how good it is to see all the other teams and drivers.
Yeah, we miss all. Last year it was a special situation for us. We have the last race also here or at the Hungaroring, and it's a long time, and it's very nice to see everybody, and we have a warm welcome here, and that's very nice.
You're still carrying the number 1 on the Iveco, of course, because due to the pandemic last year there was nobody crowned. Can you defend the title?
Maybe, we don't know. It's the first race here, and we hope we can fight for the title. And we work hard in the winter time. We build a new track. We have a little bit problems with the track, but we hope we can fix it for the next races. And from this side, we are in a good move, and we look forward for the season.
What kind of problems did you have?
We have a little bit technical problems, and now we must look for the evening, and then we will see.
And then we will see who is going to be first on track back to chess. Thank you.
His partner mentions there, you have issues with a new truck. You need to realise how to dial them in and how to get them sorted out very, very quickly. It's not the easiest of things to do, really, but hopefully the issues do not affect their championship, and Jochen Hahn can make it a 10th championship where he finishes in at least the top 2. Now you can see the pace truck on the left-hand side of your screen there, just in the middle of the road. Now that is the Iveco S-Way, which is going to be leading the grid onto the formation lap. And it's a biogas-powered truck as well, a wonderful, wonderful thing. Of course, not to be confused with our official truck, which is the Ford F-Max Truck of the Year 2019. And now we're on board with Sascha Lenz in the MAN, the number 30 machine, starting second on the grid, just within a second of local hero Norbert Kisch. There is Sascha Lenz. It's hard to miss that truck, isn't it, to be fair? It may be black, but it's got all of the fluoro yellow and green all over it. And yes, trust me, it's going to fit through there at some point. Either that, no, it won't. I was going to say, I thought that Marshall was a bit confident in pointing him through there. Flipping out, that would be a spectacle in itself. But the trucks will now, of course, do pretty much an entire lap of the circuit just to get round and then form up on the grid behind the Iveco S-Way, which will then lead them round on the formation lap. But we have 15 trucks with us today. And Sascha Lenz, like I've said, starting second on the grid alongside Norbert Kisch. with a potential run down into turn 1 to take the lead. Jochen Hahn will be third ahead of Adam Lachko. And there we see the number 23 machine of Antonio Albertetti. He's got quite a lot of work to do from 6th on the grid on row 3. He was some 2.5 seconds off the pole sitter earlier on today. But this will be the first of 2 races this afternoon, the second of which will be coming up about 3:30 p.m. local time. But we have the not-so-small matter of the very first race in the championship to get underway first. Back on board with Theo Calvé, the Frenchman, in one of 3 Freightliners that I've mentioned this season. The Freightliners are easily distinguishable by the fact that they've got a bit more of a conventional bonnet in front of the windscreen. It's almost like the car has got a nose, a snout, if you will. Great to see the different sort of configurations of these trucks, though. You have the MANs, the Scanias as well, the Avicos, with the standard cab above the front. The very front of the truck basically is the cab, whereas these Freightliners have the nose in front of them as well. You can see just in front there is the number 11 machine of Andre Kurzim. I think he's just following round Kish in the number 41. But Norbert putting it on pole position, the only Hungarian in the field. So at his home event, it's very important that he gets a fantastic result for his home fans, as the fans are allowed back at the circuit. We've had them in the grandstands and it's been great to see. And we're very, very pleased to still have them with us. You can see there the 2 different configurations, the 23 and then the 55 of Adam Lachko, the 2017 FIA European Truck Racing Champion. And it's time to chuck back to Christina, who has another interview for us.
Yes, it's Jan Kalivode, the team head of Bagheera. Mr. Kalivode, just a quick question. Hello, we've got a second delay right now. What was the problem?
About what?
The second delay right now.
I think there's maybe a problem with the water because of the safety we need to have enough time to fill up the tanks and to have enough water to cool the brakes. Otherwise, this can be a really problem.
Yes, for sure. You've got 3 races, 3 drivers around with, for example, Alia College and Theo Calvé, 2 of the youngest drivers. Yes. Are you very happy with their performance so far?
Actually, they had a very good weekend last weekend in France when Theo won all 4 races, and Alia also made a very good results when she was also on the podium. Of course, we expect more on this weekend because the time practice didn't show our best, but I think this circuit, the tarmac over here, doesn't suit much to our trucks. But we keep fighting and we will try to do our best in the race.
Why doesn't it serve? Why doesn't it serve so good?
I don't know. It's very slippery, and to find the best setup, it's always difficult. So I think the other circuits where the tarmac is not that slippery and we can use our power, it's much better for our trucks. Maybe also with the weight distribution, as we have the bonnet truck, the only one with the bonnet truck. Maybe the disadvantage a little bit over here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Back to you, Chess.
Speak to all sorts of people from within the paddock and just get a little bit more insight on what's going on out there on track. It's not just as simple as the trucks are on their way out to the circuit. You can see them now lining up on what we'll call the dummy grid. So this is just getting them all in position, ready to lead them round formation lap. On board with Stefan Fass in the number 24 Scania, the grey and red machine. And the horns do definitely still work on these trucks, as you hear there. And they are very, very loud indeed. There is your reigning champion, Jochen Hahn. As I've said, 6-time champion, Jochen Hahn, a real superstar in this series. He certainly knows what he's doing behind the wheel of that Iveco S-Way. But like I've said, we've got 15 trucks lining up here, ready to get things underway. And as the banner says at the bottom of your screen there, we have 100% renewable HVO diesel in these race trucks. And the series does have a black smoke rule, as it's called. So basically, you get warned if the truck is emitting black smoke in the interest of keeping things clean. The first infringement leads to a warning, and in the case of a second infringement, you could get excluded from the race for not keeping it clean, essentially. Here we go then, with the guys lining up at the very front of the grid. That's the number 30 of Sascha Lenz. Watch out for him at the start of this race, because he could get a really good run around the outside of Norbert Kisch. And we actually have an interview with Norbert Kisch right now.
Yes, we do, and the music is playing really loud. Norbert Kisch is getting in the mood for the first race. Almost a second gap to the second one. Do you feel still so comfortable?
Sorry, I didn't really hear your question, but I say something, okay? Yeah, so pole position, looking forward to the race. Hope to have a good start and a good first lap to stay in front, and then, try to stay in front. That's the aim, and win the race. The home crowd is really nice. I'm really happy that so many people come out. And we are still not after the virus, but yeah, I am so happy, so it's good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I think he answered my question, although he did not understand the word, because the music chairs is playing really, really loud, but that's good.
It is indeed, yeah, definitely. Everybody getting into the spirit of things. I mean, to be fair, I actually had to turn it down at my end here because it came through so loud. It's incredible. I can't imagine what it's like there for you lot on the grid, but even still, a great atmosphere all the same from everybody out there, and good to see people still taking social distancing measures and of course still keeping their masks on as well. It's great to be back racing, and it's of course great to have the fans with us as well, but we do still have to remember that we are still very much mid-pandemic at the moment. There's the very bright colours of Sascha Lenz's truck. Our cameraman sort of being asked, what are you doing there? But there are, at the front, your official trucks and the Pace truck, of course. Official truck itself is the Ford F-Max Truck of the Year 2019, which is on the right-hand side, and then the Pace truck on the left is the Iveco S-Way, the biogas-powered truck, which will lead the field round on their formation lap to get this race underway. As everybody prepares and gets ready, the crews will leave the grid in just a few minutes' time, and then we'll be able to get our very, very first taste of the pure racing that you can get from these trucks. They may be bigger than your normal touring cars or GT cars, but they're just as exciting. Contact is inevitable, and the racing is just as phenomenal. I mean, if you haven't seen any of it before, after this broadcast, of course, we do urge you between races to go back and watch some of the highlights packages from previous seasons as well, and just catch up with what this series has to offer. If this is your first time here, much like it is with me, I can guarantee that you are in for an absolute treat. And once again, we go back to Christina.
And we got Stefan Faas, best of the Chrome drivers, driving for the Goodyear Cup, ranked 8th right now. What do you feel before the first race here at the Hungaroring? What are your aims?
Yeah, I feel it good, and I hope I can hope the position. I must look what's happened in the first corner, and then we look what's the rest of the race bringing.
So the first corner is going to be tricky, because why?
Yes, that's the first race, and the first corner, it's the tricky situation for all drivers here.
And we do not forget that if you are ranked 8th after this first race, yeah, you got the reverse grid. Is that also something that you're looking to, or is more important to get those points right now?
No. In the moment we look for this race, what's happened, and then we look in the finish of this race what we do in the next race.
All right. Good luck and have fun. Thank you very much. The music stopped just exclusively for us. No.
They clearly care about our interviews, and they care what we're doing here. I love it. Really good organisers. I'd like to work with them again. But no, like you say though, Christina, the reverse grid, very, very important in this championship. So for anyone that didn't hear in any earlier information that we were giving out, if you finish in the top 8 the whole top 8 is reversed on the grid for race 2. So you finish in 8th position, you are reversed onto pole position. If you finished first, you get put back to 8th, and the rest obviously get moved in between as well. So it really mixes it up for the second race. We have 4 races this weekend, so another 2 which are coming up tomorrow, but they will also be determined by a qualifying and super pole session for the first race, then reverse grade race for race 4, based on the result of race 3. You can still see the size of the cabs in these trucks. They are not reduced in really any way, to be honest. Plenty of space for teams and mechanics and engineers to all move around inside. But that is the number 23 of Antonio Albacete. A real star of the championship and has been for a long, long time. But you can see them all doors wide open to make sure that they keep the temperatures down. And we have Steffi Halm with Christina.
As you said, the doors are open to the truck of Steffi Halm. You're ranked 5th right now and ahead of the first race. Is everything set up clear and fine, and are you confident?
Yeah, I feel confident. You know, the qualifying was not so bad. So 5th position is a good start into the season, and I hope maybe we can gain a position and don't lose anything. I think we are settled, and everybody is happy that the race season of 21 starts now.
Absolutely. And I heard the first curve should be a bit tricky. What is your plans for that?
You know, you can think about everything, and when you have to start, everything is gone because so many different things happened that you can imagine before. So you just have a good, it's important that you have a good reaction when the lights go on green, and be quick on the gas, and then try to find a space maybe between the front and but the most important thing is to have the truck in one piece after the first corner.
For sure it is, and to have fun as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Steffi Halm, back to you.
Thanks very much, Christina. Great to hear the thoughts of all of these drivers and see what they're all up to and what's going through their heads before the race. And as Steffi Halm says there, you never know. You can always plan what you're going to do down into turn 1, but by the time you get there, you never know what could have happened up to that point. Here we are on board, getting another look inside the cabs. You can see the very complex roll cages inside these machines, and of course the window nets as well, keeping drivers safe. That is the number 20 of Theo Calve, who we of course were on board with earlier on in the day and will be on board with for the remainder of the day. Our cameraman getting nice and close to Theo just to make sure that he's in the zone, and you can see, look, eyes forward. He is very focused right now. You've got to love that though. Good commitment from the from our cameraman there. I'm all for that. All for that. Very getting right up in the driver's grill. But you can see the different sizes of the cabs here as well. Those Freightliners have quite the smaller cab when it comes to the width of it compared to the MANs, the Scanias as well, and the Ivecos. And some right-hand drive, some left-hand drive. As you see here, Jamie Anderson in the number 33 MAN. Now this is a right-hand drive truck, I imagine to British specification. There is Jamie, giving us a quick smile and a wave. He's starting this race 11th on the grid, 3rd in the chrome category. And quickly entering in conversation with our cameraman there. But that's the thing, it's such a friendly paddock and a friendly atmosphere between everybody here. One of the real slogans of the championship is their one truck family, which is, you know, they have that as like a hashtag all over a lot of their promotional material and everything that they put out, because it really is like a family. You know, a lot of people call it a bit of a cliche, but it's just great to have it because everybody gets on so well. Everyone helps each other out. And in such a high level of motorsport, it's exactly what you want. And Christina has actually grabbed the real superstar of said championship now, which is Antonio Albacete.
As you said, one of the superstars of the truck racing and one of the routiniers also as well. And as heard from your team that at least you're a little bit nervous ahead of this race. Is that true, or is it just the team?
No, yeah, I mean, I think that the team did a good job this winter, you know. The track is much, much better. And, yeah, we did a test in Nogaro, and I was very happy with the track. And today we just have a little problems, but I think we will have a good pace for the race. So I think I will give a little bit of fight, I hope, you know. And then I hope that tomorrow we can qualify a little bit better. So yeah, everybody's happy with the job that we did in the winter, for sure.
After the qualifying, you were on 5th. Right now you're on 6th, as you said. You want to do better. What is the best part of the truck this season for you?
Well, we were a lot better in the steering, you know, from last year, and also with the brakes, and also because I get used to the track, you know. For me, everything was new again, so I have to get used to this new track. And I think now we are a little bit more together, the track and me. So we are getting better and better.
Thank you very much. And you heard the horn. So it is time right now for the Ford to drive away, and the pace truck is going on the rounds. So this is your turn right now, Chaz.
Lovely stuff. Thanks very much, Christina, for the fantastic interviews and good insights from all of our drivers. And as you saw there, we have the 2019 International Truck of the Year award winner, which is the Ford F-Max, serving FIA ETRC's as its official truck this year, I should say. A little bit of info on this truck as well was that there were 233 prototypes made and tests were carried out across 11 countries using this truck. Over 15,500 hours of lab testing and over 5 million kilometres of road testing were put into this wonderful machine. And it, of course, is the 2019 Truck of the Year. Unfortunately, though, we don't have any Ford F-Maxes racing in the field, but it's still great to see one represented here as the official truck for 2021. Just making the way up to the chicane now. Turns 6 and 7, very, very difficult. We're going to see a few overtaking manoeuvres there, to say the least, today. And there you can see the pace truck at the front of the field. It really does give you a size comparison, you know, because you see trucks on the road and you think, wow, that's huge. That must be incredible for racing. And, you know, the racing trucks themselves are not small. They really are not small. They're huge bits of kit, as you can see, but slightly reduced in size compared to the conventional ones, obviously with safety being the top priority here. Now, another safety feature of this championship is the fact that all trucks are limited to 160 kilometres an hour. 100 miles an hour in Queen's English. So for safety, obviously they're kept to a certain speed, and it's one of the most unique regulations in any motorsport, really, that they are artificially limited. It's not like a team can set a truck up differently to go quicker in a straight line. There are the fans, of course, who have made the journey out to come and see their home hero, Norbert Kisch, hopefully taking at least one race win this weekend. But starting from pole position, it should be a good time to do it. Teo Calvé and his team fist in the air to say, come on, sunshine, in the Freightliner for Bagheera Racing. 3 trucks out there this weekend for Bagheera Racing, all of them Freightliners. It's Adam Lachko in the 55, Alia Koloc in the number 29, and of course Teo Calvé in the number 20. We have our officials on the right-hand side of the grid. And all of the team members and crews make their way off said grid. There is the official Ford F-Max truck. In lovely dark blue colour as well, slight metallic tinge to it as well, looks brilliant. On its way into the pit lane. And there you can see written very proudly on the back, International Truck of the Year 2019. You've got to love that. Brilliant stuff. Here's Stefan Fass in the number 24 in the Scania, the German driver for Tank Pool 24 Racing. Again, the only Scania in the field, actually. The rest are either MAN, Iveco or Freightliner. Mainly a MAN field as well. But everybody now preparing to get things underway. You can see again the small cabs of those Freightliners. Look at the different sizes here. It's almost like they're hunkered down and hiding behind the other taller trucks. Could that be an advantage over the season? You never know, do you? The Iveco S-Way gets underway and the field leaves the grid for the very first time this season to start their formation lap. It's a rolling start here in this championship. So it's going to be very exciting to see how the drivers handle that, but it builds up the nerves on this opening lap. So I'll run through your grid then in just a moment. As you see there, the Iveco Pace Truck is powered by bio-LNG. So it's a biofueled machine. Again, part of the real aim of this championship is to keep things clean, keep it green. And they do hope to obviously reduce carbon footprint while still being able to go racing in the purest of forms. So your grid then for the very first race of the season. Norbert Kisch in the number 41 starts on pole position, the red machine. Alongside him is Sascha Lenz in the bright green and black number 30. Six-time champion Jochen Hahn starts on the second row of the grid in third place ahead of Adam Lachko in the number 55 Freightliner in fourth. Then it's Steffi Halm, who we spoke to earlier, starting fifth, with Antonio Alberthetti joining her on row 3. Behind them in truck 77 in position 7, it's René Reiner, who did a 2 minutes 20.9 in qualifying. Then it's Stefan Faas alongside him in 8th. Andre Kurzem in 9th position in the number 11. And Theo Calve rounding out the top 10. As you can see, a very German-filled field, this one. 11th place is Jamie Anderson in the number 33 ahead of Shane Brereton, his countryman, on row 6. Row 7 is made up of Heinrich Clemens Hecker and Alia Koloc, with Thomas O'Rourke in the number 86 machine for MV Commercial Truck Racing, rounding out your field. Now, don't forget we have Titan and Chrome class drivers as well. So there's 2 classes within this championship. The Titan drivers, on paper, usually the quicker drivers nearer the front of the field. And the Chrome drivers are the drivers with, I'd say, just less accolades to their name. There's not really much of an issue with it, to be fair. There's no issues with any of the drivers, let's face it. To be in the Titan category, you have to be an FIA ETRC champion in the last 10 years, have finished in the top 8 overall last season, or have been better than 6th in any Super Pole session in the previous season. So to put that into context, Stefan Faas is the highest placed Chrome driver on this grid, and he qualified in 8th position. So if he would have been 6th or higher, then he would have been a Titan driver for next season. And recategorizations are not made mid-season either. They are made between championships. So even if Stefan Faas, for example, qualified 6th, he wouldn't be a Titan driver for the next round. It would be next season. Anyway, facts and numbers and everything else aside, these drivers are about to leave it all behind and put their names to the track. They're about to do their talking on the road and show us exactly why this is one of the most exciting and entertaining championships in the world. You've got the fantastic second row, Jochen Hahn and Adam Lachko, but it's Sascha Lenz and Norbert Kisch on the front row as they come round the final corner. And the very first round of the FIA European Truck Racing Championship for 2021 is underway. The lights go green, they all put their foot down. And look at the number 20 there, Theo Calve, moving to the inside, making sure he's got a good line for turn 1. Looks to me like Sascha Lenz has just got his nose in front, slightly ahead of Norbert Kisch. Hard onto the brakes then, into turn 1. And look in the background there, you've got Kurzem down the inside. All into the back of the... Who is that? That's the number 77, René Reiner. He manages to save it. Kurzem's gone straight on. Theo Calve, who did go down to the inside, has run very, very wide, and he's all over the runoff area. He's got Kurzem to his right-hand side, as you can see there. But that was a massive hit from Kurzem. Somehow survives it. Brilliant stuff. Norbert Kisch then still leads the way. Then it's Sascha Lenz. Lachko has managed to get up to 3rd place. 4th place is the number 1 machine of Jochen Hahn, and he's having to defend pretty hard indeed from, I believe, just behind him. Is that Alberthetti in the number 23? Or is it? No, it's Steffi Halm. Steffi Halm in 5th place. And Hahn. Now, those two have sort of teamed up this year effectively. It's the Schwaben truck team and, of course, Team Hahn, running very similar liveries to one another, but the whole field making it through. And it really shows you how incredibly resilient these trucks are, doesn't it? With that humongous hit from Andre Kurzim on the back of René Reinhardt. Or René Reinhardt, I should say. Reinhardt is definitely the way to say it. There you go. Look on the right-hand side of the screen. The yellow and white truck smashing into the back of Reinhardt. Manages to get a great slide out of it and just carries on. But then in running wide, Kurzim then takes Theo Calvé with him, unfortunately, who we jump on board with now. He's chasing down the 33 of Jamie Anderson as it all checks up a little bit in front of him. Just in front of Anderson, that is Reinhardt. But there's your race leader, Norbert Kisch. Home hero, as we're going to keep calling him. But Sasha Lenz, I'm sure, is right behind him somewhere. We'll see Sasha just pop into shot any moment now. There he is in the number 30. Lachko holds on to third. Hahn, Halm and Alberthetti round out your top 6. There goes Kisch then, putting the power on to finish lap 1 at the Hungaroring. Across the line they all go, then you can see them all starting to fan out slightly as they come down the straight. Hard onto the brakes then into turn 1. And there he standings at the end of lap 1. It's Kiss from Lenz, Lachko, Hahn, Halm, Alberthetti, Fass, Rayner, Anderson and Calvé. Rounds out your 10. Now Lachko needs to watch his mirrors here for Hahn just behind him. You can hear the Goodyears working hard as they go through turn 1. Sorry, turn 2. Oh, bit of a slide from Lachko there as he gets on the power. Stephanie Halmer's got the attentions of Alberthetti right behind her as well. Then there's a bit of a train behind Rayner, which involves a number of the British drivers, of course. Anderson in there, Brereton, Tom O'Rourke as well. Now Lachko and Hahn were very close together there. Lachko just in front of him at this moment in time, barely more than a few tenths of a second between the two of them. And then behind them you've got Alberthetti all over the back of Halm, so a couple of duos beginning to show here. Here's Stefan Fass in the number 24 machine, going through the chicane at turns 6 and 7. You can see the bollards on the outside of the circuit there, really showing us where the track limits are. The drivers have to be very careful not to cut these corners and clip those bollards. Bit of understeer there from Stefan Fass through the right-hander. It's a very high-speed part of the circuit, this. Very sweeping as well. You have to really carry your momentum well. And then down towards turn 12. Like I said earlier in the day, this looks like it should just be a right kink, but it's not. It's a completely 90-degree right-hander. And it can really catch you out. Stefan Fass just lighting up the rears a little bit there. Around the long turn 13 now, the left-hander up towards the final corner. A little bit of oversteer again there from Stefan Fass, lighting up the rear wheels in this Scania. Takes a late apex into the final corner, piles on the power, and back down the straight he goes. Now it looks like it's still very close there between Lachko and Hahn, a little bit further ahead. Lachko in third place at the moment, Hahn just 0.3 of a second behind him. You can see them right together through turn 1. It looked to me like Hahn's got a long side. He has. They're side by side down towards turn 2. And here you go. Lachko's got something hanging off his truck on his right-hand side as well. Locks up big time on the way in. Oh, what's happened to Lachko? That's a humongous moment on the way into turn 2. The big side pod on the truck. Oh, it's coming off. It's completely come off now. It's torn in half as well. That's not ideal for Mr. Lachko. Not sure whether Jochen Hahn will have damage to the left-hand side of his truck, meaning guilty. But that is not quite how Adam Lachko wants his truck to look right now, I can tell you that much for free. The Czech driver will not be pleased with that, but you can see just tried to take it as late as possible on the brakes down the inside into turn 2. Monumental lockup. And that was unfortunately what undid the position for him. Here we go again then. So you can see the bodywork starting to come off. And he chucks it in, and then the front left just locks up, and he can't seem to stop it. Plumes of smoke pile off it. Jochen Hahn sees all of this going on, leaves a bit of space, and then cuts back down the inside. And then Lachko, as he turns left in the air, gets underneath that piece of bodywork. It flaps around, and then I believe it comes off on the front of Steffi Halm's truck as well. Now, is there any damage to the left-hand side of Hahn's truck? There is a very guilty tyre mark down the inside by the look of it, where you can see it's rubbed along the left-hand side of the truck, but that's for them to do to sort of encrypt. Is it the phrase? No. For them to figure out, let's just say, not me. So Anderson has moved ahead of Reinhardt over the course of this lap. He's gone up into 8th place. Fast still leads the Chrome drivers, as he did from the grid, but Anderson right behind. Now that is first place, Lenz. Norbert Kish seems to have some sort of problem here. Lenz has got in front, and Kish has dropped down to 3rd already. Hahn going through into 2nd place. What has happened to the Hungarian driver? Oh, it's absolute heartbreak for him. It seems like he's got some sort of issue. Yeah, there's smoke coming out from underneath. There's more smoke than there should be anyway. Coming out from underneath his truck. Let's see if we can see it from here. Yeah, you can see the plumes of it coming out. Oh, that's absolute heartbreak for Norbert Kish at his home race as well. Start of the season, it was all looking so good. He was fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, then in Superpole, and leading the race oh so well. But now Lenz leads from Hahn, from Lachko, Halm, Albafetti and Fass. And Kish is still dropping positions. He wants to get the truck back and at least get it looked at, I'm sure, but he's just got no power. There's a great train going on behind there, to be fair, with Reinhardt, Calvé, Kurzim and Brereton. And Brereton looking down the inside of Kurzim, but look, you can just see another position loss now for Kish. Anderson's gone through. Now, what's he going to do about holding up this train coming up behind him here? Is he staying out of the way? He is. That's Reinhardt going down the inside. We've gone board with Teo Calvé, who's all over the back of the 77 machine. Look at this, he tries to get a cutback, looking down the inside. A little bit of a cheeky tap there down the inside. Hello, he says, I'm still here. Not going anywhere anytime soon. Dancing around all over the place is René Reinhardt. Not able to get through yet, though, is Teo Calvé. Although he does look down the inside. The two Frenchmen really going for it. But this is your new race leader. The number 30 SL Truck Sport machine of Sascha Lenz. And he's the first truck that comes into sight of our camera lens at the moment. Let's see what the gap is back to Jochen Hahn. 4.4 seconds at the moment as well. So Lenz is really flying now. Did a 2:19.4. Sorry, a 2:20.5 on that last lap. It was a 2:21.2 for Hahn. So he's some 0.7 of a second quicker on that previous lap. He's Sascha Lenz. So he's got it hooked up at the moment. And there was contact between Lachko and Hahn, but there is no further action, as you see there. So neither of them are going to get a smack on the wrist or told up, but there is Norbert Kish coming into the pits. He'll be absolutely devastated after that. Let's see if the team can hopefully get it fixed and get him back out there, but that is so disappointing. After what was such a phenomenal start to the weekend, I'm not sure what's causing it. Of course, they'll know better than I will. I'm not really a qualified engineer, and I can't really tell from here. But they're not doing too much to fix it. I'm wondering whether they're just telling him, I'm afraid it's game over, mate. You really got to hope that they can get the truck back out later on. At the moment, though, we've got 3 trucks, 3 different manufacturers in the top 3. We've got Lenz in the MAN, then we've got Iveco in second place in the form of Jochen Hahn, and then Lachko's Freightliner in 3rd position. This is lap 4 out of 11 that they're on now. That, just off the edge of your screen at the top there, was the battle between Anderson and Fass. And this is Teo Calvé down the inside of the left-hander just after the chicane. Sweeps it over to the right. He's now trying to find a way through on Reina. But it looks like Reina's actually gained a little bit of time here and started to move away slightly. It's easy to gain and lose time down there because of how much momentum. And we actually have Christina with Norbert Kish. What's happening?
I'm not actually with Norbert Kish because he's still in the truck, and I'm surrounded here by the firefighters with no job, luckily. But you see the gate is open, and maybe the race is going to stop for him. But the engine is still rolling, but nobody is working on the truck. But maybe, as you said, it is really devastating to see Norbert Kish, the local hero, stopped.
Yes, it really is. Hopefully, like I say, the team can get the truck back out this afternoon. These trucks are big, and I imagine when you get a problem with one, it's a big problem as well. But this is phenomenal stuff by Sascha Lenz. He's gone another 9/10 of a second quicker than Jochen Hahn on that last lap. It's like he's in a completely different league at the moment. He's got a gap of 5.3 seconds back to Hahn. Lachko is still in third place. Luckily for him, though, that damage doesn't seem to have affected anything too much at this stage. You can still see it hanging off the right rear of the truck. Then we've got Steffi Halm, truck 44, position 4, as Alberthetti has a go at the bollard down the inside. Now that there was fast running wide. Anderson looking to try and come through. They're just popping into the top of the shot now. Anderson's around the outside as they go into the little straight up towards the kink. Doesn't look like he was going to get it done. We wait for them to come back into shot here as they go up towards turn 5, and no, Fast is still in front. But that's your 4 of the top 5 there. There's the damage on Lachko's machine. And Alberthetti looking down the inside of Helm. Nothing doing there. Now this is Stefan Fast, and it's a good thing that we can't look behind us, because I imagine it'd be a bit of a scary sight right now, because right behind us somewhere is Jamie Anderson in the number 33. Now this is important because this is for the battle in the Chrome category. This is for the lead in the Chrome category. Stefan Fast qualified 8th on the grid. Jamie Anderson was down in 11th place, and he's having a fantastic run so far. And speak of a great run, look at that. He's got through, and he's gone around the outside of Stefan Fast through the left-hander. Now, can Stefan get a cutback? He's going to look down the inside. You can see Anderson's truck just weaving around a little bit on the exit. He moves over to the right to defend the inside line. Hard on the brakes they go. What could Stefan Fast do about this then? Any cutback for him? Now, we've got a black and white flag for the number 23. I said Alberthetti had a go at that bollard. I might have gotten him in trouble there. There's a piece of debris on the right-hand side. But look at Anderson in this final sector of the lap. He's really flying away from Stefan Fast here. It seems he's got that little bit more confidence in the truck mid-corner. You can see him trail braking to get the rotation. Brilliant stuff from Anderson, though. Started 11th on the grid. He's now up into 6th position and the head of the Chrome field. And then this is a little bit further back. This is Brereton and Calvé for 9th and 10th. Brereton in the purple, number 17 on the inside. Calvé on the outside in the number 20. Here we go on board with Teo Calvé. Down into turn 1. Teo is later on the brakes, but does he get it stopped? Runs a little bit deep, and Brereton gets away. Teo lights up the rear. There's his teammate just behind, Elia Koloc, in the number 29. Both in the Bagheera Racing team. Now Reina chasing down Fast as well. Reina in the Titan category. Oh, unfortunately we've lost Kurzim as well in the number 11 truck. He's dropped down the order and is now into the pits. We lost him just over a lap ago, actually. He's just sort of creeped back down the order. Out of sight, but it's Lenz leading the way. And there is your hometown hero, number 41, Norbert Kish. Not really sure what's happened yet. We will try and find out between races, of course, what the problem was. And there as well is Kurzim out of the truck. So 2 retirements already from this race. It's a real shame. But the show must go on, and it goes on with Lenz at the front of it, 5.9 seconds clear of the rest of the field. Look at the beautiful sights here at the Hungaroring. And there is your race leader going through the final corner with a very healthy gap back to Jochen Hahn. Now, apparently, because the Hungaroring is in a valley, you can see 80% or roughly 80% of the circuit from wherever you stand around the edge of the track, which is perfect for spectators and perfect for camera people. Now, this is Lenz starting lap 7 out of 11. Not too long left to go in this race for him, and he'll be very, very pleased with how it's going so far. The gap has got even bigger at the front, 6.5 seconds now. Back to Jochen Hahn, your reigning champion. He's got 1.3 seconds back to Lachko, who's then another 2 seconds ahead of Alberthetti, who has got past Steffi Halm on that past lap. So Alberthetti now up into 4th position, Halm down to 5th. And there is an incident there, as you can see, under investigation between the number 14 truck and the number 20. I think that may be a typo, though, because there isn't a number 14. But that was Theo Calve. And maybe Brereton as well, potentially. Could it have been Brereton in the number 17? Either way, there's your standings. Great lead at the moment for Sascha Lenz. We ride on board with Stefan Fass in the number 24 Scania, the only Scania in the field. Flinging it through the left kink. And hard on the brakes up to turn 5. As I said before, you've got to modulate the brakes, modulate the throttle, really balance the truck through there. These things don't gain momentum as much as a little open wheeler or a car that weighs around 500 kilos. These things weigh more than 10 times that. 5.3 tons is the minimum weight. So when you're trying to manage momentum in something that weighs that much, there's a real art form to it. I'd love to know what one of these things feels like from the inside when you're on a circuit. We're getting a good representation here. And there is no further action on the incident that was being looked at. Of course, one of the series partners, Smart Witness, helping with all of the decisions in that way. Look at all the debris there as well. Bits of truck littering the circuit on the way down into turn 12. Now, Fass has got Reiner coming up right behind him here quite quickly. And interestingly, there's quite a lot of smoke coming out of Fass's truck there as well. Now, I'm not sure if you saw this as well, but look just behind the cab on the left-hand side of the truck. It seemed like there was... Yeah, it looks like there's at least something being kicked up by the truck, some sort of steam or smoke or something. You can see the black smoke, but watch on the right-hand side of his shot, behind the front left wheel. Watch when he gets back on the power. It almost looks like steam or CO2 being kicked up out the back of the truck. Now, Lachko has closed in a little bit here on Hahn for 2nd place as well. There's your race leader. Still flying at the moment. Fantastic performance by Sascha Lenz. And it's a shame the way he took the lead with Norbert Kish having an issue, but you could call it a issue. Still, Lenz leads the race. And there's the battle for 2nd. Lachko still trying to chase down Jochen Hahn after what could have been contact earlier. He's saying, right, get back here now. Give me back that 2nd place. And here is Fass, Reiner and Brereton a little bit further down. And there are your retirements, Norbert Kish and the number 41. And just ahead of him in the pit lane, the number 11. Oh no, Tom O'Rourke in the pits. Going slowly. Not sure what's happened there to the MV Commercial Truck Racing machine. But that looks like his race is potentially done as well. Doesn't seem to be making much noise either. I'm not sure whether that's a complete engine failure or something, but reliability not helping him out there. It's been a very difficult few days Not been too difficult so far, though, for Sascha Lenz. The gap last time was 8.1 seconds to Jochen Hahn. Let's see what it is this time. He crosses the line. Get your stopwatches out. There's Jochen Hahn in the background with Adam Lachko still latched onto the back of him. The gap is 8.2 seconds, so he was still 1/10 of a second quicker on that previous lap. Into turn 1. Nice and close to the bollard on the exit there, not disrespecting track limits. Sascha Lenz on a real mission right now. The German for SL Truck Sport doing everything right at the moment. The gap between Hahn and Lachko had got a little bit bigger on that previous lap. It was before 9/10 of a second, it's now 1.1. There you can see the spread throughout the field. So Rayner and Brereton very close to the back of Faas in the 24 machine, 7th, 8th and 9th. We'll have to try and keep our eye on that. There's the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Jochen Hahn and Adam Lachko. Responsible for championships for the last 8-9 years, those two between them. Incredible. Now, this is the battle that we should look at then. Stefan Faas in the 24, running a little bit wide through the kink. Now behind him, he's got the attentions of Rayner and Brereton right behind him, numbers 17 and 77. And something tells me that they're going to try and go through very, very shortly. A bit of dust has been kicked up there by the look of it. Back on board with Faas through the chicane. Hopping one way, then the other. Now don't forget, we saw him lose a position to Anderson through here earlier on. I'm wondering whether we're going to get the same again. Moving around a little bit there. Looks to me like he's run wide. I expect to see a truck go past us here. No, he's actually managed to keep the position. Here he is coming into view. Now where is... Oh, actually... Oh, Rayner has dropped behind Brereton then. So maybe Rayner having a go, and then Brereton capitalising on that and saying, yeah, all right, thanks very much. Teo Calve in this as well. He's very much part of the battle now. Rayner won't want to lose another position. This is a fantastic train that we've got going on right now. Now there is an incident under investigation there. That is between the two trucks I just mentioned, Brereton and Rayner. I'm wondering whether there was a little bit of contact that could have been avoided between those two, which is what gave Brereton the position. Now watch Teo Calve. He's taking a wide run on the way into the final corner here. Oh, but he's just lit up the rears a little bit too much on the exit. Rayner getting away down the straight. I was going to say, watch the run that Teo Calve is going to get here, but it doesn't seem like he's able to stick with it, unfortunately. Now the Tank Pool 24 machine, you hear it changing down the gears. Wonderful sound on the way into turn 1 there from the Scania. It's all about patience at this point in the race. They've only got one lap left after this. They just need to keep their heads cool, follow their own lines, and keep their momentum going. They don't need to push too hard to overdo it with any slides. I say that as Rayner goes sideways through turn 2. But look at the pace that Brereton's got here. You can see him just ahead in your shot there. He's really closing up to the back of Faas. Now these two are both fighting for position in the chrome category, 2nd and 3rd. Anderson's off up the road. But this is really aggressive stuff now from Brereton. You could just see him just putting his nose down the inside, saying, I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere. He gets a good run on the exit of the chicane to chase down Faas. He's going to stick with him. He knows he's got another lap to do it yet, so he doesn't need to overwork the tyres at this point. Oh, Teo Calve's gone a little bit deep into the left-hander. He's trying to stick with Rayner. Not able to do it yet. He can see this battle going on in front of him. And he's thinking, I just want to be a part of it. I just want to try and gain some positions if these guys hold each other up. But the question is, what can Faas do about defending for 2nd place in the Chrome class. You can see Brereton looking back down the inside again there. We're on to the final lap now. Lenz has crossed the line. There he is into turn 1. Jochen Hahn still in second place, 9.9 seconds back. Lachko just behind. And I believe that's it, actually. I think they've just crossed the line, and that was the last lap. It is, yes. Apologies. So Lenz takes the win. I had a count saying I had another lap there. Hahn takes second place, Lachko third, Alberthetti fourth, then it's Hahn, Anderson, Fast finishes ahead of Brereton with Rayner in ninth. Theo Calve rounds out the top 10, but Sascha Lenz takes the first win of the season. Epic performance from Sascha. And that's really shown his competitors what he can do there, winning by some 9.9 seconds from everybody else. And it's a win for Anderson as well in the Chrome class, finishing in 6th place overall. A really, really good result for Anderson. But you can hear the horns being sounded. A very, very happy Sascha Lenz there. Well done indeed. Apologies for the confusion there, though. As you would have seen on the top left, I had a count saying that there was another lap to go after that one. But still, epic racing all the same. So many battles as well. They sort of opened up and then closed up again. Trucks would be a long way back from the truck ahead of them, and then they'd get going. The marshal there clapping with the track limits bollard. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But there is your winners board, where we will welcome our race 1 winner, Sascha Lenz, in just a few minutes' time. On board with Theo Calve then, who finished 4th in his class, 10th overall in that race. And he started 10th on the grid, so to be fair, start where you finish, or finish where you started, I should say. It's not a bad day at the office, is it? We have another race coming up later on, though, don't forget. We've got 4 races this weekend. That was the first of 4 of them. That was only one instalment of what's going to be an epic weekend's racing. Jochen Hahn will be pretty happy with second place after starting 3rd on the grid. It's an improvement on where he started, same with Adam Lachko. But what can you say about Norbert Kirsch? You've got to feel so sorry for him, finishing last in that race. Not even finishing, he did 4 laps. Kurzim did 5 laps, and then O'Rourke did 8 laps. Everybody else, the top 12, all finished. And importantly as well for Brereton, he finished 8th, which will put him on pole position for race 2. Ahead of Fass, Anderson and Halm. Steffi Halm finishing 5th in that one. In the end, you can see there the bodywork still hanging off Lachko's truck. But they make their way into the pit lane. And your race winner, Sascha Lenz, in the number 30 man. Great result. Really great result. There's Jochen Hahn, reigning champion, finishing in 2nd place. A good way to open his account, no matter how you look at it. And then 3rd place, Adam Lachko, as the marshals take in their flags now. They've waved them all. There's your official result then. Sascha Lenz takes the win, nearly 10 seconds clear of Jochen Hahn. Adam Lachko in the Freightliner finishes in 3rd, making it 3 manufacturers in the top 3. Antonio Alberthetti finishes in 4th, with Steffi Halm in 5th, ahead of Jamie Anderson, Stefan Fass, Shane Brereton, René Rayner, and Theo Calve, the Frenchman, rounding out the top 10. Then it's Alia Koloc with Heinrich Clemens Hecker, the last finisher in the race, ahead of Thomas O'Rourke, 3 laps down, André Kurzim, 6 laps down, and Norbert Kirsch, unfortunately not finishing, being 7 laps down after a failure early on. But Christina is down there with your race winner, Sascha Lenz. Christina, what did you make of that one?
Yes, I think he's very happy. We were going to do it like this. We're going to talk in German, and I would try to put in a quick resume. Sascha Lenz mit SL Trucksport. Der erste Sieg der Saison. Jochen Hahn is congratulating. Yes, we saw you very happy. It was a very interesting race, of course, with Norbert Kirsch running out, but it doesn't matter for you at all because you're the winner. What are your first thoughts?
Yeah, I'm really happy. You know, it's we wait now. I don't know, 8 months for the first race. Now we can drive, and the first race to win in the championship. It's really nice.
Okay. So you see, I don't need to translate because your English is perfect. Thank you very much. So you got 9.9 seconds ahead of the second. That's a kind of a lot.
Yeah, the truck is really far. It's the feeling for the truck. It's very good. I like his truck, and yeah, the guys make a really good job. And we have not the guys on the back, the mechanics. Then we cannot drive, you know. And yeah, I'm really happy. And now, yeah, I cannot more say.
Yeah, for sure. First champagne of the season. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And back to you in English.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And like you say there, you know, he was pretty speechless, to be honest, after such a dominant race victory. But 9.9 seconds is a big old margin to take the win by. There you see Hahn and Lachko, two drivers that you can expect to see close together on track, not just off the track as well this season. But a little sort of sigh of relief maybe there from Sascha Lenz, but to get the championship underway in the best way possible. A race win. Taking the lead, obviously, due to the misfortune of Norbert Kish, but either way, a win's a win, and you cannot argue with that. The trucks are now put to bed, as you will, and ready to get prepared for the following race. Adam Lachko is going to have to open a parts franchise to get the right rear guard back on his truck. You can just see it there poking out behind the number 1 board that there is a lot of damage. There's no bodywork down the side of it there. You can see the framework of the truck, but there's your race winning truck, the number 30 machine, and its wonderful black and green livery. Nice and bold as well, so certainly stands out in a crowd. And you can see Shane Brereton's truck there as well, the number 17 machine, the Apollo Tyres branded truck. He's going to be on pole for race 2 if things stay how they are, but we'll take a quick look back then at how the race got underway. Everybody was all excited and prepared, ready for the very first race of the season, especially the fans who joined us in the grandstands for the first time this season. The green flag lap got underway. Norbert Kish rather nervous but also confident at the same time about what lay ahead in the upcoming race. The official pace truck, of course, the Iveco S-Way, led them round and got them all prepared for what was going to be their very first outing of the championship. Nerves running high, but also much anticipation from everybody, not just behind the scenes, but in the teams as well. The series got the green light then, as they all powered down the straight. Early moves from Teo Calve to try and make sure that he held position into turn 1 were very important, but then Kurzim would go back down the inside and unfortunately make contact. Speaking of contact, Lachko's day would go a little bit pear-shaped at turn 2 as bodywork starting to come off the truck after a slight bit of contact with Jochen Hahn would then get worse and worse as the bodywork tore away, nearly taking the front of Steffi Helm's truck with it. Teo Calve embraced a fantastic fight with René Reiner, but Sascha Lenz remained unstoppable near the front, opening up the gap lap after lap. Then, unfortunately, we lost Norbert Kish, the home hero, who will have a lot of work to do later on this afternoon. Lachko continued, sans bodywork, and Lenz managed to open up the gap to over 9 seconds, nearly 10 seconds by the end of the race. There was a little bit of a mishap for the number 24 of Stefan Fass, with all smokes and steams and all sorts coming off, but it was Sascha Lenz who would take the initial win this season come the end of the race. The battle really hotted up further back though, with Brereton managing to put on a fantastic show in the final couple of laps, really closing in on the number 24 machine, but the Brit not quite able to get it done by the end. He tried everything though, chucking the kitchen sink and everything else at it, but nobody could stop this man, Sascha Lenz, in the number 30 machine. the SL Truck Sport driver taking his first win of the season and opening the account in style. Jochen Hahn finishes in second with Adam Lachko in third, two real protagonists of the championship on the podium once again. And Alberstetti finishing in fourth place ahead of Steffi Halm. A very, very strong top five indeed. But how will things shape up in the second race of the day when we get our reverse grid? Of course, the top 8 getting reversed, which means that Shane Brereton will start on pole position. Anderson had a great race as well, the number 33 machine. A really, really strong result indeed for him. But it's time to get our podium underway, the very first podium of the season. And I believe the first one we'll do will be the overall podium. Of course, the different classes as well, the Titan class, the Chrome class, and our overall podiums to do. And here is Adam Lachko, third place, 2017 champion on the podium at the very start of the season. And he'll be over the moon with that. And then your 6-time champion, Jochen Hahn, takes to the second step of the podium, congratulates Lachko. But your first race winner of the season, Sascha Lenz, taking a dominant performance all the way through to win, as I've said, by nearly 10 seconds. Awesome stuff.
And let's hear the national anthem from Germany.
Of course, the German national anthem. You'll be hearing that a bit this year, I tell you that for free. There's so much incredible German talent within this field. And there you go. A quick changing of the hats as well for the drivers. And then trophies awarded as well. They'll be very, very pleased. The first bit of silverware, or goldware as you could call it, for Sascha Lenz this season. Sascha there, a quick sort of raise of the fist in the air to say, come on. Very, very pleased indeed. And the champagne will be open for the first time this year. Teams and all members of the media and everybody sprayed as much as possible. Obviously no drinking of that at this point of the afternoon, gentlemen. Oh, maybe a sip. But they have another race a little bit later on to contend with as well at about 3:30 local time. All fun and games up on the podium there. They would have absolutely loved that. Now, the Goodyear Cup, which is the Promoters' Cup, as it's also known, also doing their podium as well, which I believe was for the Chrome drivers this season. And there is third place Shane Brereton in the number 17 truck. Great drive from him towards the end of that one there. He was very, very potent indeed. He gets his trophy and champagne and a round of applause from everybody.
So in third position, Shane Brereton. In second position, Stefan Faas.
And second place, Stefan Faas makes his way up to the podium as well. A great defence as well late on in that race there. Really important for him to hold that second place.
In Goodyear Cup is Jamie Anderson.
And the Brit, Jamie Anderson, from 11th on the grid, all the way up to 6th position. Takes a fantastic win in the Goodyear Cup.
National anthem, Great Britain.
And obviously my favourite national anthem, the British one. Great stuff. 2 British drivers and a German driver on the podium then. And a fantastically international championship as this deserves some wonderful celebrations for such a great talent that we have here. But Anderson really was flying in that race. He'll start race 2 from 3rd on the grid. These 3 drivers that you see here will be 1st, 2nd and 3rd on the grid, but in the opposite order to how they finished this one. With Brereton on the right-hand side there, starting from pole. Faas on the left, starting from 2nd. And, of course, Jamie Anderson, who stands on the top step, will be starting in 3rd. And they get their own taste of the champagne right now as well. I tell you what, Faas was straight on that there, wasn't he? Almost jumped the gun with it. He really wanted to get that champagne popped and enjoy the bubbly. And they share their congratulations with one another, and they can take a little bit of a break, potentially, before the second race of the season, which will take place a little bit later on this afternoon. But as you can see, the sun's still shining here at the Hungaroring. Very wonderful conditions for all the drivers and teams. Hopefully we'll see Norbert Kish back out there for race 2. Same with Kurzim and O'Rourke as well, who we also lost from that race, unfortunately. Plenty of work still to be done by their teams, mechanics and engineers and all sorts. As mentioned, though, we will be back at 3:30 local time, where we will get the second race of the season underway.
In second position, Bullen von Iwaku.
And here we go, even more podium celebrations, I believe, for the teams. And Team Löwenpower take the win in the first race of the season for the number 30 machine of Sascha Lenz. It's great that the teams get celebrated as well in this championship. Awesome to see them get the appreciation they deserve for all the wonderful work they do on getting their drivers onto the top steps of the podium. Of course, it's not all just about the drivers.
And the champagne time.
But the team's getting celebrated very, very well indeed. You've got to love it. You've got to love it. It's a team effort, isn't it, motorsport? And this championship really embodying that very, very well. We'll take another quick look then at the overall result of that race. As you can see, Sascha Lenz taking the win by nearly 10 seconds from Jochen Hahn, and Adam Lachko lines up in 3rd place. Antonio Albertetti finished in 4th after overtaking Steffi Halm near the end. Jamie Anderson with a fantastic drive from 11th to 6th. Stefan Faas finishes 7th, just ahead of Shane Brereton, just ahead of René Reiner, and just ahead of Teo Calve, who rounds out your top 10 in the number 20 Freightliner from Bagheera. His Bagheera teammate, Alia Koloc, in 11th place just behind, then Heinrich Clemens Hecker, the last finisher in that race, Thomas O'Rourke, Andre Kurzim and Norbert Kish, unfortunately not finishing that race. 3 laps, 6 laps and 7 laps down respectively. But my wonderful colleague Christina is down there with someone to speak to.
Yes, for sure. And we have a slightly bit of champagne running around here. It's Jamie Anderson, the winner of the Goodyear Cup first race weekend, first race at the Hungaroring. Congratulations. And you managed to gain 10 seconds. How was that possible?
Yeah, we've had a new truck this season, so it's been a bit of a change. We struggled a bit this morning, seeing who had no seat time. We got a good rhythm going in the race, and we just carried on from there. We didn't ease off. We kept our head down, kept consistent, and managed to pull it back where we needed to be.
What are you expecting for the second race then?
We never have anything set for the second race, but another win will be good. But anything at the minute is good for us. With having no testing time, you know, is good for us to be where we are now. And it's a good step from 2019.
It was a difficult race. We saw the truck of Norbert Kish, the local hero. Maybe because you know everybody each other so well, how disappointed is it for a driver in his hometown, home race country, to drop out?
Yeah, definitely. When somebody drops out, you know, the whole team put massive efforts in, and you know, it makes a big loss to somebody. somebody, but unfortunately it sometimes happens. You can be the best racer, but you need luck as well. So sometimes you don't have it.
But time to now let the champagne run. I think you got half of a bottle left.
Yeah, definitely. So now this is for the boys in the team. You know, it's a big change this weekend for us. New truck, right-hand drive, teamed up with SL Truck Sport, so and Low and Power. So we're leading that and the team championship. So it's hopefully going to be a good start to a good season for us.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Congratulations. So no champagne for me, unfortunately, Chess, but neither for you.
Yes, indeed, and same here, Christina. Unfortunately, no champagne for me either at the moment, but maybe we'll have to crack a bottle of the Prosecco or something later. You never know. But even still, great to have a quick word with the drivers and teams there. That, of course, was our first race of the season, first race of the day, and first race of the weekend. We have 4 of them this weekend. Another one coming up for you later today at 3:30 local time. But I've been Chaz Draycott. Thank you very much for listening in, and I will see you all a little bit later. But for now, I believe it's for Christina to just round us out and say goodbye for now.
Yes, because all the trucks are driving backwards. You hear the beeping around, and so we're closing our live stream. But we'll be back soon, as you said, at 15:30. So stay tuned. It was really, really great to see all the racers back on track. All the fans are taking a break as well. And so see you soon.